Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Changemakers United Online Summit. We are absolutely blown away by the response, with more than 2,500 participants signing up. And we are so excited to have you here with us today. My name is Yolanda Roter, and I'm delighted to be your moderator throughout the summit today. COVID-19 has turned our lives upside down. While the virus may potentially infect our bodies, its ramifications have already severely impacted our societies and communities everywhere. Healthcare systems are in distress. Vulnerable groups feel an even heavier burden to carry than usual. Inequalities are deepening. The elderly and groups at risk face loneliness. Fake news, conspiracy theories, and populism are rampant. The list of issues is long, but so is a number of solutions. And change makers are literally everywhere. They step up and tackle the pandemic head on. And we are here today to showcase and celebrate, learn from and support 20 social entrepreneurs from across Europe and the world. Doing so, and with so many people, we admit is a new experience for us too. The team has been working relentlessly over the past few weeks, coordinating on calls and emails via home offices in Germany, Spain, and Italy. So this is really somewhat of an experiment. And in order to set us all up for success, let me quickly walk us through a few housekeeping and tips and tricks. We've prepared 3 conference areas for you today. The first is here, the stage, where we are right now. The second are the sessions, which you will be joining after this opening. Next, and the third, is the expo, where you will find further information about the solutions presented here today. Let me share a little bit more information about the exposition. In the expo, you will find profiles of each of the social entrepreneurs including a button. This is the support button you see here. This button allows for you to share with Ashoka in case you want to support or collaborate with the entrepreneurs presenting here today. So get involved. We want to make sure the summit helps them scale the impact of their solutions, and you are key for that. You will also find a booth from Ashoka in the exposition area, where you can ask for support or learn ways on how to directly get involved. So reach out to us and let's collaborate. Also, throughout the summit, feel free to use the chat, and I've been seeing that you've been doing that already. You can connect with fellow participants, you can ask questions to the speakers during the sessions, and you can also set up one-on-one conversations. Now, next, I would like to walk you through the agenda for today. After a short introduction by Ashoka and our partners, we will start with a firework of 1-minute pitches from the innovators. You will then have a chance to select a session from 6 different options. Those will also be the chance for you to dive deeper into specific topic areas. We will then wrap up the summit with insights from the Peace Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi, who's going to be joining us live from India. Now, let's begin. I'd like to invite Marie Ringler, leader of Ashoka Europe, and Ruben Ritter, CEO and co-founder of Zalando and founding partner of Changemakers United, up on stage. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Ruben. It is so great to have you here today.
It's wonderful to be here.
Good morning. Hi.
Fantastic. Marie, simple question. Why Changemakers United and why Ashoka?
Ashoka is the largest network of social entrepreneurs globally. We're active in 90 countries of the world, and we have a network of more than 4,000 leading social entrepreneurs. And for us, it was clear that when the pandemic hit, we needed to step up and build a unified initiative that would make sure that everyone who's doing important work in our network gets support. You know, we've seen an incredible number of responses within our network. In Europe alone, there's been 150 ideas and solutions addressing the emergency situation. And we knew that we had a duty to highlight, connect, and support these fabulous innovators. We have that duty now, and we have that duty as we move out of the emergency into the economic crisis that is looming. And today you will meet 20 incredible social entrepreneurs from all across Europe, and Kailash Satyarthi, the Peace Nobel Prize winner and Ashoka Fellow from India. And all of those people are giving us hope. There are people who create bridges, who understand the power of change, and they understand that the power of change is in all of us, in every one of us. The fellows that you'll meet and all the change makers that are joining us today are people who address the root causes, people who give their lives to contribute to a better society, a better Europe, and a better world. And especially now with our new reality, Europe is not a given. It is a gift. And it needs innovators and change makers and every one of us to make sure that Europe can thrive and that it keeps its promise of inclusion and diversity and innovation and prosperity and peace and humanity. And we created Changemakers United to build that Europe, that world where everyone can contribute and our problems are swiftly addressed through the power of citizens, their ideas, and every one of us.
Thank you so much for that, Marie. Ruben, as the CEO of one of Europe's largest e-commerce companies with activities in 17 countries and more than 14,000 employees, Zalando, you surely must have super interesting insights into how the pandemic is affecting our economies and businesses. So I'm sure we're all curious to learn what, in your eyes, is the role of business in this unprecedented crisis, and also why Zalando has joined forces with Ashoka with this partnership.
Sure. Thank you for having me on the call. First of all, I'm really excited to be part of this effort and this great initiative. Clearly, the pandemic, as you have said before, is really a global challenge, and it is affecting all parts of our society in a major way, and it will also continue to affect us in a major way. And this is why clearly we need all parts of society to be also part of the response to the situation, and this also includes clearly all companies. So for us at Zalando, this meant specifically that we did a lot of work over the last months to make sure that we can, first of all, protect our employees and keep them safe, while we at the same time try to keep our company operational and continue to serve our customers. But we also, got us thinking pretty quickly on how we can be part of the solution for our ecosystem, which, of course, first of all, is the fashion industry, which is the industry that we operate in. So we know that many fashion brands and many offline stores are, of course, massively impacted. Many of them are at the edge of bankruptcy and fighting really hard for survival. So we did a lot of work over the last months to make sure that we support our own ecosystem by paying our partners early or by giving more and more bricks and mortar retailers the opportunity to sell products on our platform, allowing them to uphold at least a part of their business. But also beyond our own industry, we have asked ourselves how we can be part of a broader response. And what we clearly believe in is the power of entrepreneurs. We are entrepreneurs ourselves. Our company is really young, only 11 years old. We are founder-led. So we believe in the power of entrepreneurs to drive innovation and to find pragmatic and fast solutions. And while we are not the biggest experts in COVID-related solutions, what we think we are good at is to scout good ideas and to help them to scale. And that reminded us that we have done a very successful program in 2016 together with our friends at Ashoka, which was called the Hello Festival, and which happened in the middle of the refugee crisis. And the idea was to scout entrepreneurs and entrepreneurial ideas across the world, and then to bring them to Europe and to have these solutions help integrating refugees into our society. And I feel that effort really was very successful, and it also was a lot of fun. And so now we find ourselves in a very different crisis, but we believe that a similar approach can make a big difference. So we decided to join forces again with Ashoka to make sure that the inspiring and innovative solutions that many of the people on this call have developed can have even more impact. And this is what I like about this program, that really entrepreneurs are the stars of the show. So what is our contribution? We contributed to funding this program. And we will contribute with know-how from our teams, specifically around how to scale across Europe, which is something where we think we have some expertise we can share. So we will have experts from our team support. But of course, all of this only makes sense in the combination with the partners. So first of all, Ashoka and their great network of social innovators. But also, I'm really thankful that the BMW Foundation, McKinsey, and the Apex Foundation also chip in and support, which is really great. So, I'm excited to be a part of this. Our company is excited to be a part of this. We are very optimistic that the impact of this exercise can be meaningful and substantial. And I just wish all of you, the best of success for today and for your initiatives.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to both of you for these inspiring insights.
Thank you.
Now, over to you, the audience. Thank you so much for being with us. We're absolutely eager to know where you're dialing in from. And I've seen that a lot of you have already written the country you're dialing in from into the chat, but we would love for you to visit the link that we've just posted in the chat. Or even you can enter on menti.com in a separate browser window and punch in the code 157687 and you quickly enter your country. So that's menti.com 157687, or you hit the link that's been posted into the chat, and we will be displaying the results here in just a moment. Giving it a little bit of a warm-up. All right, we have Italy in here, Germany, of course, Guten Morgen, Czech, Poland, fantastic Singapore, Spain, Italy, wow, the list gets bigger and bigger, the Netherlands, Istanbul, Turkey, Sweden, amazing. It looks like I think I saw Malaysia as well, Geneva, so Switzerland, Singapore again, India even, France. Okay, this cloud is getting bigger and bigger. Looks like we have a really fantastic mix of all of you dialing in here. So thank you so much and welcome to all of you. We would like to now turn to the innovators in the room and learn more about their solutions. What we've done is we've asked them to prepare short videos for us, clustered along 6 topic areas, from healthcare to policymaking. These are the same 6 areas you will find in the sessions later. So what we recommend is to grab a pen and paper to take a few notes, or if you want to be digital, you can do it in your note-taking pad, of course. And so you can decide which sessions you want to attend after you've watched the clips. Is everyone ready? I think yes. So then, let's go. We'd like to start with healthcare. Undoubtedly the issue on top of everyone's minds. And allow me for that to present to you Carmen Pellissier, David Cuartielles, Dorica Dan, and Krystian Fikert.
I am Carmen Pellissier, the president of Trilema, a foundation that works in education, social innovation, and healthcare, with a vast experience in patients' empowerment through self-control of their illnesses through mobile technology. For COVID-19, we have adapted all our resources and our platform to create a holistic solution where there is a clinical monitoring of patients, the technology that allows patients and people under risk to stay at home and self-care of their own symptoms, and the training for professionals that can handle all this technology and data to avoid overcrowded hospitalization.
I'm here today to talk about CORONAVIRUSMAKERS, which is a social movement that started on the internet as a way to react to the lack of medical equipment and medical protection equipment for hospitals, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and other parts of society that were in direct contact with the infection. The Coronavirus Makers is a movement of over 15,000 people that met over Telegram, which is a social network, and got organized through different groups, first at the regional level, then at a national level, and currently at an international level. And it's grouping a lot of people that are dedicated to the design, manufacture, service, and then donation to those that need it. More recently, we have created a research and development group that has over 20 research projects, and these projects are being researched and further built by volunteers and then shared with companies that can then manufacture them and serve them to society. Currently, we've served over 850,000 face shields, several hundred thousands of masks, ear protection equipment, and so on. I could go on. We've been featured all over the press, and our current need is the creation of an NGO that will continue to work with these kind of topics after the COVID-19 crisis.
My name is Dorica and I am an Ashoka fellow from Romania and represent patients with rare disease in our country. We are building an online platform for therapists to ensure continuity of care for our patients through online consultations, individual therapies, psychological and social counseling, and thematic patients groups and training. We need expertise for fundraising and marketing strategies and advocacy for integration of digital tools in healthcare systems.
MyMind is the largest blended service provider in mental health sector in Ireland, and we're providing accessible and affordable counseling and psychotherapy face-to-face and online for everyone in Ireland. We currently have over 120 mental health professionals working with us in 15 different languages.
Our next innovators deal with the topic of vulnerable groups, refugees, women facing domestic violence, and young people at risk. They tackle the question how we can ensure that vulnerable groups aren't forgotten. Let's turn to Estévez, who unfortunately won't be joining us today for personal reasons, but is sending her colleague Gemma, Jeremy Lachal, and Massimmo Vallati to hear about their ideas.
Maybe this is happening to your mother, your best friend, your daughter, and you don't notice that, and they cannot speak up because victims are confined with their abusers during COVID-19. And a bella solution is proving that survivors, we can act as change makers because we have the expertise to detect the invisible victim and the empathy to help them to break free from violence. Every 10,000 euros we collect is another network of women survivors that we can settle anywhere in the world to support 200 victims. It's only 50 euros cost per woman safe and happy again.
Libraries Without Borders is a global NGO working in 30 countries to bring knowledge and information to vulnerable populations. The crisis of COVID-19 and the closure of schools have deep consequences on children refugees in France. When they were just about to learn French, everything stopped and schools closed. In this context, we are mobilizing a network of more than 150 volunteers to provide daily pedagogical support for hundreds of refugees children living in France. We aim at delivering more than 25,000 hours of tutoring by the end of the school year.
We use the football as an educational tool. Our goal is to rewrite the rules of football in order to rediscuss the rules of the world. We chose football not only because it's the most practiced sport, but also the social event with the broadest audience in the world. So, by improving football, we can improve the world. Since COVID-19, our biggest challenge has been transforming social soccer into an online experience that can have an impact both on our younger participants and on their families who are living the lockdown in extreme conditions. With the online weekly meeting, we have been using digital tools to continue the educational path that we started, including also families and neighbors, to give a voice to anyone.
The next set of innovators is dealing with the topic of elderly and family in times of COVID-19. Because how do we make sure that our elders aren't left out due to the pandemic? Lone Koldby, Ole Kassow, and Volker Beisch have some answers. Here come their videos.
We fight loneliness and isolation among the elderly and people living in care homes. We're teaching health personnel how to provide for a meaningful, tailored activity program as a treatment. We do this through improving their skills and competence. Our COVID-19 solution is an online platform where you can build your activity plans weekly based on your previous and your present interests and needs. We believe we should all be able to live with dignity and great moments to the very end.
At Cycling Without Age, we work with the social inclusion and quality of life of elders in our society. By engaging them in cycle trishaw rides with volunteers of all ages, we allow them to be socially connected and to continue to build new relationships and enjoy life as they age. All rides and activities with elders stopped worldwide with the corona pandemic, and we miss those rides and our elderly friends. This has left an already vulnerable group further exposed to social isolation, and it has an enormous negative impact on their mental and physical health. This is also true about whole populations at the moment. Collectively, we can all really empathize with elders. The response from our 2,000 teams worldwide is remarkable. Volunteers help with shopping and picking up medication from pharmacies, and they engage with psychologists and healthcare workers who help and encourage isolated elders via so-called balcony talks. And last but not least, we are now meeting in global Zoom calls to push for system change under the heading The Right to Relate, in a major push to make relationships a human right.
We have been working now in the field of reconciling families since 20 years. During the last 10 years, we built up a big corporate stable network of companies like SAP, Vodafone, Lufthansa, Otto that support active fatherhood and equal partnership of mothers and fathers. Our aim now is to use our website Fathers in the Corona Crisis to actively support fathers in a preventive manner with free counseling. The platform collects also information around Corona tools, webinars, podcasts on how to actively shape and overcome the current private and professional challenges. We will strengthen fathers and their families in this situation so they don't feel overwhelmed and that both fathers and mothers emerge stronger from the crisis.
How's it going? We've covered 3 topics and we're going to be going into the next 3 ones in just a moment. As you can see in the chat, we're sharing more detailed information from each of the social entrepreneurs presented. Just for you to note, you will have 15 minutes between the end of this welcome until the start of the sessions that you can use to decide on what social issue you want to expand your knowledge on. Now, let's keep on moving forward to the next topic, which is returning to the past or transforming our learning ecosystems. Because with kindergartens and schools closed in many countries, youth and children are amongst the most affected. Tragedy or opportunity for new approaches to education? Hear from Emer, Jen Lexmond, and Thorsten Kiefer, Thorsten unfortunately won't be able to join us today, and he won't be part of the conversation, but they have some insights to share, so enjoy.
What we do is empower children so they can design a better world. We do this through our design hackathon workshops where children get the chance to invent, build and present their solutions to the Sustainable Development Goals. Usually we do this through schools, challenges in different parts of the world and our yearly global event. Last year we were in 40 cities. Then Corona happened, so we've taken a part of that work online. We invite children to come up with solutions for life under lockdown so that they can be heard too and share their great imagination and empathy with the world.
Easy Peasy is an app for parents that offers them engaging, joyful activities to help them overcome everyday struggles and transform them into playful moments. As school and childcare closures have piled on the pressure for families right across the world, we're really aware of the gap that is growing between rich and poor children's development as a result. And that's why for every new parent who subscribes to Easy Peasy, we're pledging to get access to a disadvantaged family for free.
Children are very strongly affected by the current crisis. They can't go to school anymore, they can't see their friends anymore, they're worried about their loved ones and themselves, and oftentimes they don't really understand from the current news what's going on and what they have to do. So we teamed up with Welthungerhilfe, a German NGO, to develop an educational solution for children and young adolescents that uses storytelling in the form of a comic to educate children about what coronavirus is and how to protect themselves from the virus and from COVID-19. The comic has now been translated in more than 20 languages, from Amharic to Turkish. There is a video, and the comic is rolled out through partnerships with governments in sub-Saharan Africa and in different countries in Asia.
This next set of innovators is looking at approaches to reliable information in times of COVID-19. Because I'm sure all of you have at one point during this crisis received some form of message that you knew just was not true. Fake news and populism aren't new problems, but they become more apparent than ever right now. And so how are social innovators ensuring everyone has access to reliable and truthful information during the pandemic? Hear from Klaus Kandusi, Mehmet Atakan Foça, and Mike Furyk, who shed light on this topic.
What is most important to fight COVID-19 successfully? Exactly, that everybody sticks to the safety regulations. And what does people need to really do so? They need information that's accurate, that's up to date, and that everybody can understand. The Capito app delivers exactly this kind of information and allows you to choose the proper language level individually.
Tate is a fact-checking organization based in Turkey. We create creative content for internet users to help them separate fact from fiction in post-truth era. Our main goal is fostering critical thinking by empowering users with digital literacy skills. Also, we are changing media ecosystem by incubating the teams and multidisciplinary actors who would like to tackle with misinformation.
Alison is a large free learning website for workplace skills development, with over 2.5 million graduates of our 1,500 free courses worldwide. To help people around the world learn about the threat of COVID-19 and how best to protect yourself, your family, your community, we created a free course on the virus, which we published on February 2nd. We are now on version 8 of that course. To help as many people as possible to learn about the virus, we're translating the course into over 100 languages. We now have 56 language versions of the course, studied by over 200,000 people. With Alison, anyone, anywhere can learn about the coronavirus and pass an assessment to certify that they know what they need to know about COVID-19. We need more people to know about this program.
Our next and last topic cluster deals with empowering political and economic responses to the crisis. Whether it's lobbying governments, supporting indebted citizens, or starting new ventures, citizen empowerment will be key in defining our new reality. Alberto Alemanno, Pablo, Santaeufemia, and Darek Hábl have something to say on this.
The Good Lobby is committed to demystify and democratize lobbying as a legitimate practice that should be open to everyone. In short, we incubate and build good lobbies to help them gain access to decision makers. At the time of COVID-19, we believe that our future does not depend on what the virus does to us, but on how our government will decide to respond. That's why we're helping citizens and NGOs to monitor their governments through a major meta campaign in which we provide people the tools and methods to hold decision makers accountable and foster them to coordinate their action. That's our contribution to counter COVID-19.
Bridge for Billions is a digital ecosystem of entrepreneurship programs for purpose-driven early-stage entrepreneurs worldwide. During COVID, we decided to offer our assistance to entrepreneurs that have solutions for humanity, solutions that could solve the challenges that humanity is facing right now because of COVID. And we also extended our support for ecosystem partners that were struggling to digitalize their entrepreneurship programs. On top of this, our next step is to continue working with universities to make them job creators, and not any type of jobs, but resilient jobs, innovation-based jobs that can sustain any future crisis.
An unfair legal environment and the lack of hard data about debt collection and personal bankruptcies led us to establish the Institute for Debt Prevention and Resolution last year, 2 years after the successful launch of the interactive execution map. The map shows detailed data on the scale of the program in individual cities, towns and villages. In reaction to COVID-19 crisis, we had to take action quickly. In cooperation with other NGOs, we started to provide data, information and suggestions on a daily basis. Demand detailed data about enforcement and personal bankruptcies in your country too. Demand a fair legal system.
It is now my pleasure to quickly welcome Matthias Schaffelmeier to the stage. Matthias is one of the initiators of the Changemakers United program, and he will share with us some next steps. Hi, Matthias.
Hey, Yolanda. So good to be with you. Thank you, Yolanda. Wow, it's such a pleasure to have you all with us today. I am afraid I have to go off script for just a second and say a massive, massive, massive thank you to the team that has set all of this up. This was by no means easy, from lockdown situations in Italy and Spain and Germany and the Czech Republic, a team of teams that was out there and really pulling this together. I can't thank you enough, and to our partners and all the individuals that support this program, thank you. While we have 20 innovators here today, we believe every one of us can be a change maker. Together we are stronger, and by supporting one another, we can overcome this pandemic and turn it into an opportunity and face any challenge that we faced as a society. So if you run a project yourself, let us know via the chat, present yourself to others and share your ideas on social media using our hashtag for today, Changemakers United, one word. If you're an expert willing to give their expertise, or if you're interested in donating to the solutions, please visit the exposition section on Hopin, where you find profiles for each of the entrepreneurs and many ways to get involved. If you represent a foundation, a business, or an institution, well, consider coming on board. This is a collective effort, and join Changemakers United. You can do so by visiting the Ashoka booth in the exposition area, or just reach out to anyone on the team. After the summit, how will we continue? Well, we will accompany the 20 solutions in detail, supporting them to scale their efforts and bring their solutions to the world. Any support here is welcome. With Zalando, BMW Foundation, McKinsey, Apex Foundation, Accenture, Hogan Lovells, Oliver Wyman, Kearney, Denton, Steelcase, Hill & Knowlton, and over 70 individuals from these partners and from the Ashoka Support Network working with and supporting the social entrepreneurs on board. We have a wonderful bunch of collaborators already, and we're really eager to mobilize even more support. Now, we have prepared for you 6 absolutely fantastic panel discussions and roundtables around the various topics that were presented just a minute ago. You find these in the sessions here on Hopin. Simply choose one at 12 p.m. sharp CET time and enter the sessions with a simple click. That is in roughly 15 minutes. See you back here though at 12:15 for a conversation with Ashoka Fellow and Nobel Peace Laureate Kailash Satyarthi. So the sessions start in 15 minutes. You have some time to visit the booth, chat, connect with one another one-on-one in the chat, and I hope you're having an amazing experience. Let's do this together. We will overcome this and get rid of this pandemic and build a more resilient and better society for all. Thank you.